Hi, this is Frank Schaefer. When I was a younger man and part of the religious right, we worked with the Republican Party. In fact, we took over the Republican Party, if you look at the history. And I fled the religious right and fundamentalist Christianity, and by the end of the 1980s was out of the movement. But today, the Republican Party bears no resemblance to the one that I fled. Let me put it this way. If this was 1940 and World War II was raging in Europe, the Republicans would be on the side of Germany. How do I know that? Well, in a recent poll, only 13% of Republicans in New Hampshire have a, quote, very favorable view of Zelensky and Ukraine. And according to a primary poll that's just been conducted, half want to slash support to Ukraine. There's no word to describe this but evil. Ukraine is standing between us and an aggressive totalitarian state led by a horrible murdering dictator. And all that we have between us and Vladimir Putin doing his will on Europe and the rest of the planet is Ukraine. And we're still arguing about whether to give him fighter jets or long-range rockets. Well, that's a different discussion, but the idea that there's a party in America, a political party, that favors Vladimir Putin over Ukraine is simply despicable. In fact, it reminds me of what really was going on in the 1930s, where Joseph Kennedy, the grandfather of the Kennedy clan that we know now, was pro-Nazi. And the US ambassador to the UK telling them that the Roosevelt government would fall, the Nazis would win, and making overtures to the Nazi party. His friend, Reverend Kuglin, was a pro-Nazi Roman Catholic preacher with the same sort of views of our culture as the Roman Catholics who now dominate the Supreme Court. What goes around comes around. But now it's a step lower, and you have an entire party, a Trump cult party, made up of evangelicals and armed right-wing fanatics, actually rooting for victory for not only America's sworn enemy, but the only global threat that we face in terms of a nuclear power that has, for the last half century or more, been aiming nuclear weapons at all our cities and military complexes. The Tucker Carlson party, the Donald Trump party, is evil. It has stripped women of rights. It is making war on gay people. It favors evangelical Christians and allows them to discriminate against gay people and refuse service when they come to them as a business based on religious ideas. And the one thing that unites this party is an addiction to guns, almost as great as their addiction to the orange wonder Donald Trump. So we have an armed party of ridiculous people who are fundamentally now anti-American and have thrown their lot in with Vladimir Putin. Why? Because evangelical leaders have told them that Putin is standing up against the gay movement or trans people or whatever for traditional family values. Well, Russia is not practicing traditional family values. They are using rape and the kidnapping of children as a weapon of war. Vladimir Putin is a murdering thug, and Russia has turned into a state that is not only failed and living only off its oil money, but is now attacking the worldwide food system by bombing and attacking the granary of the world, which is Ukraine, and their ports. Well, last night they attacked a historic Ukrainian Orthodox church. And that is the value of their support of Christian values. They're bombing churches that are historical monuments to the people of Ukraine and historical sites, trying to wipe them from the map. Even their memory and their historical memory from the map. This is evil. If you are a Republican today, you are part of an evil that is supporting a totalitarian dictatorship making war on Western Europe and our allies, commensurate with Nazi Germany. That's who you are. My name is Frank Schaefer.